All right, guys. So it looks like the woke revolutionaries are finally getting everything that they want, right? Because all these people went out here for years and told us that, hey, women can do the exact same things as men, right? We deserve to do the exact same things and be put on the exact same level as men. And now they're kind of getting what they say they wanted. Now, I'm not sure after hearing this that they're still going to want all the same rights and privileges as men, right? Because there's new legislation that would require women like men to sign up for the draft. Now, I wonder how many of these feminists out here, right? I wonder how many of them are going to be okay with this, knowing that when they turn 18, boy, you got to sign up for the draft. And in case we get into war, we have to ship your feminist butt overseas to fight our wars because, hey, you know, y'all want, you know, to be men. Okay, y'all want to be men. So this is what is happening, right? And we're going to see it, you know, how much of the left backlashes against this. Because, I mean, conservatives are backlashing against it, and rightfully so. Because conservatives have always taken the position that, hey, you know what? We really shouldn't have women fighting our wars, okay? We really shouldn't have women fighting our wars, right? And I think that is the correct position. Now, if women want to voluntarily sign up, hey, that's on them, right? As long as they can meet the physical standards, I don't have an issue with it. But I don't think they should be forced because I think that gender roles are real, right? I believe in gender roles, okay? All right, so I'm going to read a little bit more about it. And this is according to ABC News, so you guys get a better understanding of what's going on. A U.S. Senate committee has approved legislation that would, if enacted, require young women to register for selective service alongside men and in the rare event of a war or other national emergency be drafted for the first time in the nation's history. During the Vietnam War between 1964 and 1973, nearly 2 million men were drafted in the U.S., according to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Just afterwards, in 1973, facing a tide of opposition to the controversial draft, President Richard Nixon officially ended military conscription and the U.S. established an all-volunteer force. But even though the draft is no more, most young men, including immigrants, are required to register with the military selective service in case conscription becomes necessary once again. Federal law requires registration when a man turns 18 years of age, and immigrants are required to register within 30 days of arriving in the country. The new legislation, authored by Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Jack Reed, a Democrat from Rhode Island, would remove any reference to male in the current law, leaving women on an equal playing field. Hey, that's what the feminists say they want, right? They don't believe in gender roles. They don't believe that, you know, there's a difference between men and women. So accordingly, this is what has to happen. Okay, just what has to happen. But not everyone is on board. Committee member Josh Hawley announced his opposition to the measure, tweeting Friday, "American women have historically served in and alongside our fighting forces since our nation's founding. It's one thing to allow American women to choose their service, but it's quite another to force it upon our daughters, sisters, and wives. Missourians feel strongly that compelling women to fight our wars is wrong, and so do I." Women have been serving at all levels of the military since 2013, when the Pentagon opened up frontline combat positions to them, and supporters of the Reed legislation say it's high time that women sign up, particularly since the service has changed dramatically since the Vietnam era. Quote, "This isn't our grandfather's military," a Senate aide chose close to the matter told ABC News in an interview, noting that a draft be instituted. The greater need nowadays would be more educated conscripts in the specialty branches like those with expertise in cyber technology and STEM, as well as doctors and lawyers. Okay, guys, so let me read a little bit more here. And I actually want to come back to that point, but let's go a little bit more. Quote, "So while a draft is highly unlikely in many of our lifetimes, none of that raises the same arguments about physicality. All of the things that were used to argue for a male-only draft," the aide said. "It's a different world." All right, so that's important, guys. And the reason why is because that's kind of what I've been arguing, right? Telling you guys about why is the military woke? Okay, the military is woke because they don't really need people on the ground anymore to fight wars, right? The new soldier, right, is the tech geek sitting at his computer writing code, right? That's really what it is. I mean, that's the honest to God truth, right? And once you understand that's the reality of the world that we live in now, it makes sense in terms of why the military has gone so woke, right? Because at the end of the day, they rely on Silicon Valley the same way that the rest of society relies on Silicon Valley. And if Silicon Valley says you got to be woke, you got to be progressive in order for us to develop technology for you that you need to use to fight Russia and China and to be more efficient, I mean, they really don't have a choice. Right? Again, I did a video on this a while ago, basically outlining like how many times the big tech and Silicon Valley has basically told the military, look, we're not gonna do this or that for you if you guys don't do it our way, right? And that's because, again, the employees at these companies are woke, right? And if the employees at these companies are woke, then again, they dictate who they choose to do business with, right? In the terms of the business. And again, technology is gold, right? Tech is the new gold. And I think that's something that people got to understand moving forward if conservatives are to continue to try to conserve anything, right? And that's why I've been a big advocate of, you know, people need to think long and hard. We talk about education. Look, man, you got to teach your kids how to code, right? I feel like, you know, conservatives, you know, when you talk about starting families, talking about education, that could be the most important part, right? Teaching young conservative children how to code, right? Because that is how you're going to keep conservative influence and get conservative influence in, you know, these tech companies and in, you know, in the military and whatnot. Otherwise, you're just letting leftists get into the military, get into these tech companies and have influence because they're the ones that know how to code, right? It is what it is. But like I said, I personally am against women being drafted, being forced to draft in the military, especially when it comes to fighting ground wars and stuff like that. I don't think that women should be forced to do that. Now, if they want to sign up and do it, like I said, they can do it. I don't really care, right? As long as they can meet the physical requirements, that's the only thing that matters for me. But now, you know, like I said, the feminists have gotten what they want, right? They say they want equal rights, equal treatment. Again, here we go, right? Here we go. You got to sign up for the draft, just like a man do, okay? Then we're going to see if there's leftist backlash for this. We're going to see if they got anything to say about this, right? And it's probably more likely than not at this point that this is going to pass. It looks like they're trying to make this a part of the NDAA, which is something they pass every single year. Right, it's hard to vote against more military spending in Washington, right? It's hard to vote against anything having to do with taking any funds out of the military. So if this is in the bill, I'm not sure if people are going to be willing to hold up funding of the military over this issue, especially considering how woke our times are. So we'll see, but let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.